Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for tuning in as always. I just wanted to point out another mistake I made in creating my channel. My name is combined as one word. The Dennis Angeloni title does not have a space between the name, between the Dennis and the Angeloni. And I believe that there's no way around this. So, anyways, back to my not so tall tales. So this is episode 6, titled "Self-Esteem, Parades, the First Text, and Bank Loans." Now, on the topic of self esteem, this is not one of my favorite topics, but what does low self esteem mean? It sounds derogatory, but I would think it's a good thing. And why? You should have low self esteem. I think it would be an appropriate reaction to today's world. It's rough out there. You're always getting your butt kicked, and it means you can take it and aren't so wrapped up with yourself and putting up a false front. And what is someone with high self esteem? They're arrogant bastards. That's what they are. I don't understand parades and never did. Every time I've gone to a parade, I stand there asking the same question: what is the point to this? People are walking down the street and representing some lodge, club, or organization that very few people have heard of. It's usually from some moose lodge in the suburbs in which you pay dues and sit around in the bar and get drunk, play pool, and watch TV. And working on 45th Street and Fifth Avenue for 23 years, I have a legitimate reason to dislike parades. Every St. Patrick's Day, the parade would start right in our corner and the day would turn into a zoo. Impossible to leave the building or enter the building with all of the drunks, and it was common to see many arrests in the area, especially years ago. And the places of business didn't care for it either because some people were so snockered that they didn't want them in their establishment, and the drunks were only interested in either more alcohol or some sort of bathroom. I read an article about the first culture to produce written text. The claim is that around 3200 BC, the Sumerians were the first to write organized text. And what was the written text about? It was text showing the ingredients to beer. Yes, beer. And somehow I wasn't all surprised that the text represented ingredients for beer. Once they drank the beer, they told each other, "We have to write this down." And I'm glad they did. If you've ever applied for a loan at a bank, and I'm sure most of you have, you'll know what I mean. You have to answer about 60 questions, and really, all it comes down to is you have to prove to them one thing: that you don't need the money. If you have a decent salary, own a home, own 2 cars, and have had a mortgage for several years, you'll get the loan right there. But if you really need the money and don't have all the essentials, you're not going to be approved. And it makes you wonder sometimes. This is a strange and convoluted story, and see if you can follow this, because I don't even know if I can. I was supposed to meet a coworker for lunch, but we both had to cancel. So I went to John's office and I told him that I couldn't go, and he said he got tied up with his manager and he needs to work on something immediately. So this other guy, Dave, in his office says, "It seems everyone here knows that you're not going. You've been talking about this for weeks." And I said, "Yeah, I don't even know where we were going." And then Dave says that he wasn't invited. And I said, "Okay, that's good. Next time we don't go anywhere, we'll invite you." And he says, "Gladly, I'll put it on my calendar." So I say, "What about next Wednesday?" Dave says, "I'm not sure. I don't think I have much going on that day, but I'll have to get back to you. Where would you like to go?" And I said, "I don't know. It's a date." That was a very bizarre conversation. I was quite surprised that I remembered it. But all three of us were very bizarre people anyways. I heard a story about an octopus who was given a crab in a jar with a lid, and the octopus unscrewed the lid and disposed of the crab. Now they're claiming that octopi are very intelligent, and I agree. But did he read the label on the jar? Whenever I ask my wife where something is that I can't find, she says to me, "It's over there." Naturally, I couldn't find it, so I ask again. She says the same thing: "It's over there." So I said, "Where is over there?" And then she says, "It's on the thing." And I'm like, "Oh, could you get a bit more specific? Where is there, and what is this thing you're talking about?" Jeez. And this has happened dozens of times, too. And my wife, again, my favorite subject, wakes up one morning and told me that she had a potential affair in a dream, but she rejected him. And I was like, "What? Why would you do that? You're not supposed to reject an affair in a dream. That's what dreams are all about. You blew it, and I would have never turned down an affair in a dream, unless, of course, she's not my type. Never turned down something like this in a dream. I hope you will revisit this," and I told her to take advantage of the opportunity, and don't feel guilty. You can keep it to yourself. It's only a dream. We think that people go to work every day to make money, so they buy things, live a certain lifestyle, put food on the table, and a roof over their head. And I agree to a certain extent, but one of the real reasons that people go to work every day is much overlooked. And this is daytime television. Daytime TV is so horrific and so bad that when people stay home and start tuning in, they're going online searching for jobs, calling friends, former coworkers, even family members, and doing what they need to do to get out of the house during the daytime hours. These shows from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. are train wrecks, and they're produced with this subject in mind. Make the show so bad that these couch potatoes will gladly seek employment. Decades ago, when my children were young, we would rent a cottage in Cape Cod for a week. And on one of these vacations, we went up to Provincetown. We were walking around on a nice summer evening, and all of a sudden, my son said to me, Dad, I don't think I like you very much. And I said, it's okay, son, but you know what? I have a great tan, and that's all that matters right now. And speaking of P-Town, I was walking down Commercial Street one night in town, and I was very tan and had to leave my wife and kids since I had to use a public bathroom a few blocks away. So I realized that I'm walking down the busiest street in P-Town on a Friday night with a dark tan and my Hawaiian, dark tan for me, and my Hawaiian t-shirt and shorts, and I'm alone, and I start picking up the pace with my eyes fixed, looking straight ahead, and here I am, a straight family man walking down Commercial Street on a Friday evening, and these guys are looking for converts. Quite a few years ago, my wife had to go to a close friend's wake. He passed away at the age 46, way too young, and it was naturally a very sad affair. When she got home, she asked me if I minded going to the funeral by myself the next day. She felt that she wouldn't have the strength to face all of these people that she was very close with again. I agreed, and the deceased man was the husband of one of her closest friends, and my wife is very upset. And she said to me, it's so tough losing your husband at this age. I hope I die first. And naturally I said, yeah, me too. Only joking, of course. I won't get too involved in this, but someone asked me what gets me pissed off more than anything else. And I replied without hesitation, bad drivers. There's nothing worse than a really bad driver. Plus, they're extremely dangerous, too. I could get into politics right now, but it would take the rest of my life to speak of it. What a nightmare. And then there's climate change and global warming. But never mind, I'll move on, because I could go on for days. We've all heard of the right time and the right place, and you know the rest. Right time, wrong place, wrong time, right place. There is a difference between the right time and the wrong place, and the right place and the wrong time. If you're in the wrong place and the right time, what difference does the right time make? Unless, of course, you can somehow get to the right place and time. If you're in the right place but the wrong time, then you do have a chance unless you're really late. But that's what cell phones are for. Nope, the wrong place and the wrong time as well, just all wrong. If you think about it, the wrong place and the wrong time is really nowhere doing nothing. Nothing is happening there. And I can relate to this. The joys of the English language, 2,000 rules and only 4,000 exceptions. Someone asked what some of the biggest problems are in the world, and I started out with inadequacy. Feelings of inadequacy can be devastating. Too many people and can overwhelm individuals. Institutions are full of people that are inadequate, and do we know what the major cause of inadequacy is? I do. It's overachievers. If these ambitious type A personalities could rein in their drives, the inadequates, I know this is not a word, but it works for me, wouldn't feel so inadequate. The earth is nothing more than a competition, and not everyone wins naturally. Maybe I have a psychological breakthrough, but really, I know there is no legitimate way to legislate this, but I am a dreamer, an inadequate dreamer at that. I could recommend that all CEOs, successful entrepreneurs, movie stars, famous musicians, doctors, scientists, lawyers, politicians, and professional athletes just lighten up a bit and give everyone a break, so we don't have to walk around feeling like feeble-minded, useless idiots. I'm going to stop here, and I will see you soon. Thank you.